Yo, what's poppin'? Yo, that song you just heard is a new song that's out now on Fixed Noir, aka a new label. Check it out. It's on my Spotify and my Apple Music. It's out everywhere, actually, as a matter of fact. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah. Fellas, today, let me switch to my face cam. Here we go. It's poppin'. Today, it is feedback day. Now, first thing, let me say this like real quick. It is currently storming where I live, so it is entirely possible that my power just kind of goes out and calls it a day, and the stream will end. So just so you know, if it just stops suddenly, you know why, okay? So yeah, there's that. Let me close up submissions. Okay, it is raining quite hard, I must say. But yeah. So yeah, you know why I will dip if this occurrence might occur. Yeah, the stream must go on. Okay. Submissions are closed. Perfect. Okay. Fellas, you know the deal. We got to do some quick disclaimers right at the beginning, as we always do. Submissions are currently closed, but if you want to submit, join the Discord and submit to #feedbackstream at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays. We'll be going over all the sentence tracks first, then all of the courts, and then everyone else who submitted to the stream. If there's a queue of donation skips, we'll alternate between dono skips and normal submissions. We'll try to fill up about 2 hours of feedbacking, and this is for constructive criticism purposes only, so I'm only trying to help you out. And we do these every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Right. Okay. How are y'all doing, by the way? I forgot to ask. How are you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in and stuff. How are y'all doing today? What's up? Yo, Joe. Mr. Throw Me. Milkman, yo, everyone's here right now. Yo, Mr. Japan, DC41, Cruel, Dragon Rot, Bob, how you doing? Amazing, let's go, Poggers. Glad to hear that you guys are doing well. Okay. Yeah. That being said, let's go to the first track of today. And we got Mr. Basif with Stupid Clip Descriptor. He says, I made this idea at my girlfriend's house. It is very empty and boring, and nothing is mixed because I'm lazy. Looking for input on ideas, I guess. Alright, let's get it. Nice pad. Like that. Aw, thank you, Bookman. Appreciate that. Nice clap. There's a lot of wait. I'm gonna blue ball everyone right now. I'm so sorry. There's a lot of like low end in that clap, presumably because you cranked it a lot, and so like you hear a bunch of low end in this clap. So try to kind of like either EQ it out in a way, or like lower the volume so that it doesn't distort and add harmonics to the low end of the clap. You know? That. Woo! Oh yeah, you showed me this, dude. Okay. I think you need a lot more grunge and like crispiness to the sound by adding like forms of distortion that'll make it crunchy, you know what I mean? So, I know you're an FL, so like I don't know how you do this, but like in this case I would just add a fat rack and call it a day and make the kind of like the sub distort with like the main sound that you have, and that'll make it super grungy and like add power. But in this case, I don't know how you do that. I think it's the fat rack is like a combination of a lot of like OTT and like saturators. So try doing something like that. I'm sure you'll work it out. You're a smart man. Yesterday while we were talking, yeah, I have one that I don't have up. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, for sure, just like slap a fat rack on this, get it to be nice and grungy. I love the flow on this. I think, it works until like a certain point, like. right there, I feel like it kind of stops working, this flow that you have going on. Because you're using the same sound to make like a kind of switch up thing, but like that makes it confusing because usually you'd hear like a different sound if you're trying to like switch something up, right? So either try to make like in this part specifically, right? Like right there. Try using a different sound for that and like sound designing a bit. It needs more Valorant, quirky, funny. But yeah, Mr. Basive, this is quite nice. I like it. It just needs like a slight bit more punch and you got it. But yeah, that is no worries. You will slap a fat rack on that as soon as you get back home. Yeah. Very nice, Mr. Basive, Joseph, man. Let's go to the next one. Alright, up next we have DM8 with Alien Zone Contest. Work in progress. Let's go. No problem, Mr. Joe. I kind of wish there was some like a constant. This is like the smallest nitpicky thing, by the way. I kind of wish there was like a small kind of like quarter note, like maybe string layer that just kind of constantly goes through quarter notes, and that way you kind of have like a consistent like groove going on. Yeah, smallest thing ever. I think that the lead needs to have way more reverb and like sound way more massive, because right now it's just kind of like this saw that like instantly decays, and that doesn't really give you the feeling that it's like opening up. It's just kind of like, hey, here's a hardstyle lead or something, you know what I mean? Nitpick, net word. So right now it doesn't sound like you have any sidechain on the kick. You might have some on the snare. I can't really tell, but I think you definitely need more. You definitely need some sidechain and make it like pretty like noticeable. Not to the point where it like eats up the whole like sound, but just like enough to kind of make the drums stand out a bit more and kind of like, you know, yeah, punch through a bit nicer. You've got some cool sound design though. I like the way you're combining like the like melodic aspect with the basses. I think that's really cool. Rumi, you good? That does not sound like a pleasant experience. Yeah, I don't know. Like you have like kind of a pretty solid vibe going on here. Hey, DM8, thank you for the re-sub membership thing. Appreciate you. Hey, thank you. Yeah, like okay, I'm not really like the melody seems a bit unmemorable to me. Like it sounds kind of like it's kind of like all over the place. Like if I go into Ableton and like drew a bunch of notes that are like they'll be in the same key, right? We're in D sharp. Okay. I don't know the D sharp minor scale here. Luckily there's a feature where you can do this in Ableton 11. It kind of sounds like he just kind of did this and like called it a day, you know? On like I guess this would be on the quarter notes. You kind of like placed a few notes here and there, and then I don't know. It kind of has like it doesn't really have a memorable melody, and I feel like that's because there's such huge range on the notes. Like there's certain parts where you go like really high and then really low, but then you know, yeah, it's not quite like yeah, it doesn't quite have that memorability to it, and I think keeping it in the kind of same range would help a lot. Also, it is now the thunderstorm has ramped up quite quickly, so just so you know. Might be going out here pretty soon. Like, okay, besides the sidechain problem, this is like a pretty good tune. I feel like the sound design is a bit like 2015, 2016-ish, maybe a little, you know, that kind of like earlier dubstep era. I feel like it's not quite like processed enough to like hold up to like modern standards personally. I think over processing it a bit more, like, or like processing it a bit further than it like, it sounds good right now, right? But like, you can go a step further and like really add more effects to like spice it up and to the point where like you have no idea what it is, because right now I can kind of tell that it's like some sort of like FM synthesis. Maybe you use like Massive or Serum or something like that. But yeah. I can smell the fish. Yeah, so that's nice. In general, I would say I wish it was a little bit more like produced, if you will, like a little bit more processed. It sounds good. There's no like specific problems other than like the sidechain that I'm noticing. But I definitely think there could be more effects everywhere to kind of spice it up a lot more. You've got the music theory figured out. That's really nice. I wish the melody was a bit more yeah, like I said, like reverbed out and huge sounding, but yeah, I've already touched on all this stuff, so yeah. Anyway, DM8, I think you've got a nice little solid tune going on, and I wish you the best of luck in the Alien Zone contest. So yeah, nicely done. Let's go to the next one. Alright, up next we have Japanese with Anime Smiling Face.
Anime titties, hoes.
God.
Anime titty, ho. Anime titties, hoes. Anime titty, ho. Anime titties, titties.
Is that Bishu?
Anime, hoes.
It sounds like Bishu.
Anime titties, hoes.
No problem, D-mate, I got you.
Anime titties, hoes. Anime titty, ho. Anime titty,
Modulation and synthesis. It is. Woo! It's fucking groovy, dude. Mr. Japan, you're stepping it up, my man. What the fuck? Storytelling. Dude, okay, Mr. Japan, you're getting very good very quickly. This is sick, okay? I would like off the bat, right? I think you with this anime vocal, right, that you've kind of introduced, you've kind of set this standard that it would be like kind of a meme track, and so I like didn't take it seriously, but then it actually dropped and it was like really sick, and I wasn't expecting that. And then I was like, yo, nicely done, you know? It was like a solid thing. Okay, I will say, I think the vocal should probably either be like more integrated to the song, as in like add some processing like OTTs and stuff onto the vocal, or I would just yeet it and just kind of like, you know, make your own kind of tune with this without the vocal. I don't think they can quite coexist in the way that they are now. I don't think it's quite processed enough. The vocal's a placeholder. Got you. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like just look on Splice, and like I'm sure there's like plenty of vocals that will fit this style very well. But yeah, this is like very solid. Like. The flow just works really well. Like you've got a solid like kind of I don't know if I would even call it like call and response, but it's kind of like call and response. You've got a really solid like structure going on. Like it flows really nicely from one part to the other. Yeah. Really cool sound design. Very nice, Mr. Japan. Very good. You're stepping it up very quickly. Go to the next one. The jazz. I still don't know if. Okay, you gotta let me know what your pronouns here are. I have no idea what they are. Kestriel with the organization. The jazz person. Deposit one anime titty in right hand. JA/ZZ. Alright, here we go. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Hey, the lick. Okay. So what I'm noticing now is that piano in the background is doing the same thing, kind of like over and over again. It's doing the right, like over and over again. Try to find like a way to like instead of it being like this like assuming you're at what it's like 150ish, right? Assuming you're at like 150 BPM. Make it instead of like a 1 bar loop that just goes over and over again. Try to make it maybe like 4 bars and then loop it and like just make variations with it. Because right now it's like super like, you know, there's a word for this, but I forget. It just like kind of samey the whole way through. The saxophone went from like this like stereo thing to like mono, which is kind of weird. I think your like drum kit is kind of overpowering a bit, like it's the tiniest bit overpowering. Like, I would try to turn that down by maybe like 3 decibels or something. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on taste, right? But like it needs like the drums really aren't the important thing here in like jazz. So well, they like help and keep the groove, right? But like that's really all they do, kind of. I think. Like in a setting where you're you know where music theory is the most important part, I think you would want to emphasize the instruments more than the drums. So I would turn down the drums a bit. The kick is mixed a bit weird. It kind of clips a little bit. Like a tiny amount. Super sick. Woo. Oh, I love that little like piano thing. I don't know what that is. Is it Rhodes piano thing? Super vibey. It needs barely alive growls. Yeah, again, drums are too loud, especially during those transitions. doing good today. Thank you for asking, Kipo. How was your day? Hope you're having a good day. I feel like it gets a bit too dissonant here. Like that might just be taste, like personal taste, but I feel like it gets a bit too dissonant. I would try to kind of tone it down and like add the chords where like it doesn't always have these like two like semitone apart like notes. Might help. Not enough 254 251 in the licks. It has quite a few licks, but I'm not really noticing the 251 yet. Yeah, Kestrel. I don't know how you make it, but this is like some really sick jazz. It's really cool like switch up of pace. You know what I mean? We're going from all this dubstep and stuff to this, and I quite like it personally. So yeah, Kestrel, you've made a very enjoyable song here. I think the main issue, the main issue here is just the mixing, and I think just kind of keeping everything to a toned down level and kind of like seeing where your priorities are at with this song. You kind of need to like, you know, keep your priorities in check and make sure that your instruments are the loudest part and not the drums where they can kind of overpower a bit. But other than that, like this is just a lovely tune. I greatly enjoyed it. So thank you, Kestrel, for sending this in. Let me give it a little banger button. Yeah, let's keep going. All right, up next we have X with Melodic Tarot. I think a troll emoji. Let's go. All right, peace out, Mr. Joe. Ooh. Ooh. Like those drums. Smegmas. Woo. Oh, nice. I think this is one of the rare cases where you can kind of like switch between triplets and like eighth notes like pretty seamlessly. I think you're doing a good job with like pulling that off. I think like in this section it kind of worked, but with that fake out it was like I wish you kind of contextualized it a bit in that fake out, right? So you have so right now we're in like right, we're in like triplets, and then you're wanting to switch it back up. But now what I wish you did is kind of made it maybe like added some kind of like beat indicator, so like maybe like a ride, a hi-hat, something like that, to kind of keep the beat going, and then you can hear how like off kilter it is, because right now how I'm hearing it is just straight eighth notes in this fake out. Like right now it just feels like like that. When it's really more like super like offbeat, right? So yeah. Really nice sound design though. Description. Psst, chat. Let's just pretend Nettie can't see this. I'm not looking. Tell Nettie he's awesome. Aw, thank you. Plan. Submit an ID for his feedback stream. Get feedback. Implement that feedback. Review and fix. Finish song. Send to full flex audio. Hope the fucking god it works. Sweats profusely. I didn't see that. Sounds good. Good luck with that, by the way. Goody goody. Yeah, this part is really nice. Like the drums like are like perfect right here. They're like not too loud, not too quiet. Like they're not clipping or anything. They're just like sitting just right. I think you nailed that. Very nice. Hold on. Okay, you got to change up the sound design a bit because we're doing a second drop, right? So, especially since I assume this is like a triple drop kind of format where you have like a double drop and then like, you know, midsection, whatever, then another drop. You definitely need to change up that sound design because it sounds the exact same as the first drop, and like you want to do a big switch up. So try to do something to your sound design to make it like different in this half specifically. Those empty spaces kind of need something to keep the groove going, because right now it's like 2 beats of silence. So you're like you know, vibing, dun, 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 dun. You know, you need something there. See now you've added some kind of like undertone to it, which sounds really nice. So you kind of, I wish you like did so, yeah, it needs variation for sure. Main bottom line. I feel like for this, you could kind of put a bit more emphasis on like the intros and like the midsections and stuff. Like, ooh, see, this sounds interesting, right? But like, but previously it's just kind of like it kind of feels like a bit of filler, you know? It doesn't feel like it's like the song is about like the journey kind of. It's more about the like the drops, and you know that's fine. But I think in like a song where like I feel like the songwriting is like really important, I feel like you could kind of try to like do something like really interesting with the intro and stuff. Sounds cool. Ooh. Here we go. The only problem I'm having with this now is because it's such a short sound. The main like lucky thing is it's kind of being eaten up by the sidechain if you do it on every quarter note. So be careful of that. I like kind of hard to fix that. I've found that like shortening up sidechain helps with that, but like the sidechain sounds fine. So it's kind of, you know. So yeah, okay, X, here's what I suggest for you, right? You must focus on, like, okay. Technically speaking, this is a very good song, as in like it is produced well, it sounds good, the mix is good, sound design is really good. What you need though is like the structuring. You need to like put some focus on the structuring and like make sure that like everything stays interesting, because like across these 3 drops, there's been like you know, excluding this section, all of the sound design has been the same across, and it got very repetitive. Like as soon as this second drop hit, I was like, I don't know about that, you know, because you're not like changing it up enough to keep it interesting. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely make some like drastic changes to the sound design. Like I think that's like really important here. Like I really want you to understand how important this is change up the sound design to keep it nice and interesting. And like it'll just be so much more engaging if you don't use the same sound throughout these drops. So yeah, that being said, X, you've got a lovely song here, and it definitely has potential. So yeah, that being said, let's get to the next one. All right, up next we have Oberus with Blockbusters. Let's go. Got it, Chief. Okay. Track is a bit loud. My volume is just high up. I can't tell if this is supposed to be a drop or not. I see what you're doing with that, like, that, thing, right? I think you're just kind of, like, staying on that note for too long that it feels out of key. Okay, let me go back to here for a second, right? You need to kind of indicate that this is going to be a build-up a little bit better, or what I assume is a build-up. See, the reason I thought it would be a drop is because of the kick build-up, and I think you should kind of remove that, to be honest. Because otherwise, like, I'm gonna feel like I'm going into a drop. I'm like ready to get into that, but then it's not actually there, you know. This part also just kind of feels a bit like underproduced, as in like there's not enough enough processing on stuff, and so it feels a bit underwhelming. I wish there was a bit more attention to the like or not attention. It's just like I wish there was more effects kind of beefing up every sound, especially the bass, because right now it just sounds kind of like just a default saw wave. Yeah, the structure is odd. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, hey! There's like so much going on. Like there's like constantly like new sounds being thrown like at you, like left or right. Like I don't know how, like I don't know exactly what. There's like something else that I can't quite pinpoint, but it's like there's like something about it that's making me not like it that much. I don't know. I can't tell. Yeah, I'm just kind of confused. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's listen to this again. Hold on. 1, 2, hey! There's a lot of like filtering stuff going on as well, where you like completely sweep out any frequencies and like make it almost silent. Like listen to here, for example. Like that like I don't know. There's like just too many areas where there's like random sounds kind of just going on, and like you're not like capitalizing on it either. You're just kind of like tossing it in, and I think that's what's causing it to be super confusing. Yeah, it's not. It really isn't my style of music. Like I don't know. It's not quite my thing in general. But like just kind of like pointing out the things that I don't like about it is that. Yeah, the sounds are really one-shotty. Yeah. Oh my god. The sidechain is every quarter note. Yeah, you got the hi-hat sidechain. You probably don't want to do that. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, the sidechain is on every quarter note, and that's kind of causing it to be like weird. I don't know. Don't do that. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, I don't know about the structure. It's just kind of weird. Like you have an intro, then a build up, and then like a really long like breakdown section, and then another build up, and then a drop. Like I see what you're going for, but I think you would have to have a less like emphasized build up, and like shorten this section up maybe a bit, and then go into the build up, because right now it's just like structured a bit weird. But yeah, besides that, I like the idea behind it. I think just the execution is not quite there. So keep working on it. I think it has potential. But yeah, give it a little bit more of yeah. I've already touched on all this stuff. So yeah. Anyway, Oberus with Blockbusters. Very nice. All right, up next we have Sakura with Spectra ID. Let's go. Ooh. Leo trick spots. Sick. See, you're not kind of you're not quite keeping up the power is what's going on right now. So when that sound design came in, it was like a little bit too like prominent, and like it kind of overpowered the melody a bit. You know what I mean? Like it's like too vowely, and so it kind of like becomes like a main element, even though like it's probably supposed to be like a layer, you know? A little too much compression. Definitely too much compression. Yeah, and here like so we have this melody being introduced in this build up, right? But then in the drop you kind of just ditch it and you kind of call it a day. And now that kind of like makes it lose all its power. There's like nothing really going on anymore. The sub is really messy, and like the it sounds like you have like a limiter on the master or something, but it's really compressed. If you have anything in the master, I'd just take it off. It's doing you more harm than good, unfortunately. But yeah. Yeah, like there's just like 6 layers going on at once that are all doing different things, and it's causing it to be like super cluttered. Like you have like your sub, you have your like whatever that growly layer is, then you have like your lead, like some pads, and like there's like so much stuff. You know what I mean? What is this? What is this cryptic language going on? Yeah, and again, you have like some sidechain on the quarter notes, which is weird. That might just be like due to the limiter. I feel like just it being like that cranked, and your limiter is like ducking it, even though you don't really want it to. All right, we'll do. Appreciate that. To hear it's nice because there's no compression affecting it. Like I wish you kind of like mix the drop in this kind of manner and not like the super compressed manner that you have it here. Yeah. It sounds like you also have like, I don't know, several sub layers or something, like something in the I think you might have forgotten to like EQ something, or I don't know. It sounds like you just have a lot of like low end that you didn't cut out, like you know, and like you meant to, you have like a separate sub or something. I don't know. You get the idea. Yeah, and the sound design has gone on for too long, yeah. Thank you for the coffee, Ned. I'm assuming. I'm a fucking barista now. I'm also like not really taking away any like motif from the melody, and like, well, there's like 2 reasons for that. One being like the sound design is like just so distracting that I can't really listen to it really, because there's just like so much stuff going on. But like I think the main reason is it's like all over the place kind of, and like I don't know, it's like hard to, the melody has like too many like a too the melody has too large of a range regarding the notes. Yeah, it's a bit too repetitive as well. Like it sounds like you have like 32 bars of the same thing kind of repeating over and over again. Yeah, Sakura. I think you have the ideas down, but like the execution is just like too compressed, too like chaotic. So I would just reduce the amount of layers that you have going on. Try to like EQ your stuff a bit better, as in like have a separate sub, and then like make sure nothing else has any sub to it. Just EQ all that out, and yeah, I think that's about it. And then you'll have a much cleaner mix. Right now, the main, like most of the problems are with the mix down. But yeah. That being said, Sakura, cool like songwriting kind of idea. Just definitely wish it was a bit more. Yeah, like it needs the execution. But that being said, let's go to the next one. All right, up next we have Dennett with Disperse. Let's go. Why do you just have a fucking comment from Subtronics, dude? This is nice. To quote Dr. Ozzy, it's a bit one-note Norman right now. So you've stayed on the root note this whole like 26 seconds. So I would like add some chord progression to it. Probably. Kind of what I'm looking for. And also, it feels like you're kind of like trying to include like the drum beat right here, or like you're trying to like make it a full-on drum beat, but like also not really. Like you remove the hi-hats, right? That's like all you did to transition to the build-up. I wish it was a bit more distinct to what you were trying to do, because right now you're like still in that mode of like doing it just a normal drum beat. But yeah. You're not rocking with the root note. Ooh. Yeah, we're just still on the root note right now. And now I'm confused with the structure, right? Like we have like just too many I don't know, like too many ideas kind of, and like I don't know what I'm listening to, you know. I can't, it's like too random kind of. I wish there was a bit more structure to it in general, yeah. Try to make intros that people won't skip. Exactly, yeah. We've just been on the root note the whole time. Oh. We finally moved from the root note. I don't mean to, okay, I don't mean to make fun of you, I'm sorry. Just needs more chords. Very one note Norman. I feel like if you're gonna do something like that where you go like, you know, you have like one phrase and then like the other and you're like switching between it, you have to have a really solid transition, but right now there's not really any, and so you're kind of just like, here's one section, here's another, and then you're slapping them together and like hoping that it'll kind of work. I would try to you know, add some kind of like drum fill or like pause to indicate that you're going into the other section. Throw me with the 279 Venus. Let's go. Thank you, Mr. Throw Me. It's the best. Thank you so much, Mr. Sure. Yeah, just too many, like, I don't know. It's like so chaotic. Like it's all over the place. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a bit like, I don't know. I think the structuring is definitely problematic, but the sound design is like a little bit like The mix is really good, but I don't know. I think the sound design is fine actually. Yeah, just main thing to focus on is the structure and like the chord stuff. You know what I mean? You know, it needs more variation in those departments. But yeah, that being said, I wish I could comment on more, but I don't know. I think it's a pretty like simple thing to fix in general. Just try to kind of work on getting a more calm response kind of structure going on. And yeah, you know, you've got the mix down, you've got the sound design. That's about it. So yeah, Dennett with Disperse. Nicely done. All right, up next we have Benjamin Productions with Teardrops. Let's go. This is nice. Ooh.
I can't see the light no more. Teardrops on the bathroom.
The vocal's a bit too quiet. Needs a bit more loudness.
Want me? Oh, do you still care? Are you still listening? Are you still there? I can't see the light no more. Teardrops on the bathroom floor. Do you still want me? Oh, do you still care?
Polish flag.
Are you still listening? Are you still there? I can't see the light no more. Teardrops on the bathroom floor. Do you still want me? Oh, do you still care? Are you still listening? Are you still there? I can't see the light no more. Teardrops on the bathroom floor. Do you still want me? Oh, do you still care? Are you still listening? Are you still there?
Okay, I wasn't prepared for it to drop. Let's first. Okay, yeah. So I wasn't prepared for it to drop, right? And that's because there's not like much of a build up, right?
Do you still want
I guess there is. Never mind, I'm just tripping.
Are you still listening? Are you still there?
It needs a pause before the drop hits, and like you kind of have it, but it needs to be like completely silent, pretty much. Instead of like still having that guitar playing on, it's like too same, like it's too similar to the build up to like drop, if you know what I mean. So yeah, try to remove those guitars and then like, you know, do something, just have the vocal there. And then when we get to the drop, snare is way too quiet, and the only thing we're hearing is like the fundamental. So if we go to Ableton real quick, let me show you this. With the snare, right? Let's grab a snare. Let's take this one. If we reverb this, right? And we don't have we have this like, all we kind of hear is that like tone to it, you know what I mean? The fundamental. This. That's kind of what I'm hearing from your snare right now. It's just a lot of hello. Oh, I put it on the group. A lot of this, and not enough of like the actual snare. So what I would try to do is reduce this, kind of like do something more like this, and get like I don't know if that's snare in general. Like there's like no high end that I'm hearing. I'm just hearing like the body of it, kind of, and make it like a bit more like this is what I'm hearing. Make it a lot more like high endy, a bit longer. In like with the white noise tail, you know what I mean? I would try doing that. Yeah, and the vocal just gets drowned out because it's not loud enough, and like you're not like making it a priority that it's like, you know, in the mix, you know what I mean? You're also sidechaining the vocal, which is like, if you're making like pop music like this, you'll notice that a lot of like the leading artists in like these kinds of genres like don't sidechain their vocals. Goofy phone on. You're being awfully goofy. Like the songwriting is really lovely. You just need to mix it better, and then you know, it'll truly unleash once the mix is like emphasizing everything that it needs to. So in general, just make the vocal a bit more like, you know, louder, more in the forefront and stuff like that. Yeah, and the drums were also like a big problem, you know, stuff like that.
Are you still listening? Are you still there? I can't see the light no more. Teardrops on the bathroom floor. Do you still want me or do you still care? Are you still listening? Are you still there?
Yeah, that doesn't quite punch or pack a punch or whatever.
Are you still listening? Are you still there?
And it's because of the guitar, I think, and like just the lack of loudness. Like the volumes just aren't quite there. Like I wish everything was like a lot louder here. But the main thing that I'm hearing is like just the guitar and that like the sub and like a little bit of the drums, but that's about it. Like I wish everything was just a bit louder and like just like shine through a bit more. Yeah, Benjamin Productions, I think you've got the songwriting down. You definitely just need to like hard focus on your mixing, because it'll take your like music from like this level to like a very solid like I don't know how to put this, but like it'll make it like so much more solid. Like it'll remove like most of the problems that you're having right now if you have like a perfect mix down. So yeah, I highly recommend just focusing on your mix downs and like trying to get every volume to sit properly. Reference like tracks of like your favorite artists and like see how they do it. You know, stuff like that. And yeah, just pay attention to every element in your song and their songs and how they do it and stuff like that to really understand how to mix stuff like this. And you know, look at plenty of YouTube tutorials. Yeah, that's what I'd recommend. So yeah, Benjamin Productions, nicely done. All right, up next we have Vox On with Nightcore, or Nightcore. Free download. Let's go. Okay. Ooh. That was quite sick. The clap, the only thing that I'm hearing right now is the clap has like excess low end, and it's like stereo as well, so I would try to take that out a bit and just EQ it, and other than that, that's like really sick. Really sick mix too. It gets a bit repetitive at this point. Like we've kind of heard the same sounds like on display the whole time, with like a little bit of variation, but like not like enough to really make like spice it up. You know what I mean? You've kind of got like a little bit too much of the same thing going on. I wish you did a bit more to like harmonize the sub with the notes. Because right now what you're doing is you kind of have like a bass line that follows like the exact notes that the lead is. So let's just say we do this. Let me turn this off, right? Let's just say we do this, right? Right now what you kind of have is this like like this. Okay, this, hold on. It sounds weird. It's like phasing. You kind of have this going on. So you're just staying on like one single note the whole time. Now if you do something like this where it's like it's already a lot more interesting because you're harmonizing the sub with another note. So try doing that. Try forming chords with like elements that are not even the same element, and you'll have like a lot more interesting songwriting going on. Why do I know music theory all of a sudden? I don't know. It just stood out to me. Yeah, again, I think it's the same. Okay, it's just too similar. Like the flow is the same, and like the sound design is a little bit different, but not different enough to make the second drop like impressively different. You know what I mean? A bit on the weather. I think it's gone pretty much. Famous last words. Thanks for asking. Ooh. You gotta switch up the sound. We've heard the same sound the whole time. This whole drop, right? I feel like I'm getting a bit aggressive. Sorry, I don't mean to insult your track in any way. It sounds very good. I'm just saying it needs more variation for sure, and like it just needs to be a drastically different sound in general. Clap is a bit too loud here. No, I could never do that, dude. I would feel so bad if I did that last time. I would feel fucking awful if I did that. Yeah, Vox On. You've got the sound design down. The mix is really clean. I like it. Besides the clap, a little bit of adjustment would solve that. But like other than that, love the sound designing in general. Yeah, like I said, a bit more harmonizing on the you know, on the instruments and stuff. Excuse me. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, Vox On with Nightcore. It sounds dope. Go to the next one. Alright, up next we have Kurtoa with Space Drive. He says, I made this in one day. The mixing is not good at the moment, but hopefully it's good enough for feedback. Inspired by Leotrix. Alright, dope. Let's go. Yo, Zero Day, what's poppin'? Just give them terrible feedback with a straight face. Yeah, I think you need an OTT on the master. Or maybe some autotune. The song sounds like music. I would change the music. This is nice. problem, Vox On, I got you. The vocal is a bit drowned out, like it's kind of lost in the sauce, aka the elements. So I would try to kind of bring it out a bit with like an OTT or something. Not too much, but just crank it a bit, and that way it'll stand out a bit more. Especially here, it gets drowned out. Oh, I know what song you're inspired by. It's the fucking 1, 2, 3 bounce bump. Yeah, that one. I know what you mean. You've got some sick sound design going on. I wish there was a bit more high-end presence, like from the cymbals and stuff. Because right now you kind of have like the most prominent hi-hats just in the kick and the clap, but that kind of loses its groove a bit. Yeah. Like you need them on the quarter notes. I feel like it's a bit off-putting that you have like all this like dissonant sound design going on, but then all of a sudden you kind of like add in this like melodic element. You know, I don't know. Might just be me, but yeah, it needs a bit more music going on. It's good, but it needs I don't know. The main thing that was lacking, especially in this first phrase, was still the cymbals. But this thing, it has like no mids, so like the frequency spectrum is not being filled up at all, and that's kind of a problem. I would try to add some kind of like bass underneath, like a growl maybe, that helps fill up those frequencies. Yeah. I like these sections though. Very vibey. That's what I need to do for the drops. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint. Main thing is the cymbals, but like, it's not. I don't know. It's not bad. It's just there's like I can't quite tell what it is. It might be just like it needs a bit more like fattening up. You could probably do that with like an OTT or two, or like a saturator, stuff like that. I don't know, something about it just isn't quite hitting, and like the most obvious thing for me is the cymbals, but like other than that I can't really quite tell what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I also like hear the inspiration from the Leotrix track a lot, and I don't want to like discourage you from like, you know, making something inspired by your favorite artist. I just like know exactly how it's structured because it's the one song from Leotrix. I'm sorry. Right. Anyway, Quitol, I think your sound design is definitely stepping up. I like it a lot. It's like you're clearly you're like stepping in the direction of like, you know, making your sounds a lot more interesting, like trying to sound design it in a way that's like, you know, very dubsteppy, and I like that. It's getting better. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, that's about all I have to say. I wish you the best of luck with this. I can't, like, I couldn't quite pinpoint exactly what was like my issue with this thing, so I apologize for that. But yeah, that's about all. So yeah, Quitol with Space Drive. That's it then. Let me open some more submissions. Let me do this. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Yeah, we can do like that. Okay. That should do the trick. Okay. Yes. Good. Okay. Up next, we have Turumoth with Madness Infesting, I think. Let's go. Very evil. Oh shit. Everything is tumbling and rumbling. It's nice. Imagine, throw me. I wish that siren was a bit more like reverbed out. It sounds a bit too like dry, and it makes it kind of weird. It feels like it should be more in the background, but then it's not. So it's kind of a nitpicky thing, but yeah. I'm not sure about that. So that snare, first of all, is like really weird. Like it sounds like kind of like a synthwavy snare without like the high end and just only like the fundamental that's reverbing out. You need a lot more high end from your snare. Like I would get like a kind of like a Britamy snare rather than this kind of like, I don't know, this just like or like tonal kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, the clap is weird, yeah. It also definitely needs to switch up from the sound here. Like try to make some kind of different sound, maybe like some extra layers, I don't know, something. It's a cool concept, but I don't know if it's quite like executed properly. Also, there's like no transition between this part and this part. It needs like a bit of a like sweep, maybe like an impact or something. But just like an EQ sweep that'll like cut out some frequencies and like you know, help you carry it to the next section. You know, I think that would help. Neddy likes one snare only. Neddy snare 3. Here, I wonder which one that is. Let's see. Ned. Let's look up Ned snare 3. I don't know about that one. Yeah, there's a lot of Ned snare 3s, but not one of them I like. Right. Anyway, go back. You were wrong. Yes. More of a Ned snare 5. What's Ned snare 5? Let's see. Ooh, I like that one. I do like that one. See, these are my current snares. That one I like. However, I'm not sure about the other ones. Is that the behemoth rhythm? So dun 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 dun. You hear that? I also don't know if I don't know, it's just so abstract, you know? Like, there's like, I don't know. The only like, the kick hits like kind of infrequently as well. So I'm not really getting that like rhythm that we need. And then the snare is also kind of weird. And like drums are like super important in this right now. And like, I don't think it's quite hitting the mark, you know? Especially not that snare, but now that I'm hearing it, like... I wish that kick had a bit more high end. I don't know, it's just like, the sound design is a lot of just the same stuff. Yeah, the drums I've already commented on, but, yeah, I'm not too sure about this one, but, yeah, I see where you're going for, like, you're trying to go for, like, a kind of atmospheric thing. And, you know, it has its points, you know, it is a cool concept. I think just with the right execution, it could work a lot better. Yeah, so, like, yeah, I've already kind of commented on that. I would, definitely recommend switching out the drums for a little bit more punchy ones, but that's about it. So that being said, Turmoth, cool concept, and let's go to the next track. All right, up next we have Hacksaw with Canopy. Let's go. Ooh. Let me hear Ned Kick 3. All right, Ned Kick 3. It's all right. This one's pretty good in my opinion. I like that one. I used this one a few times. That one, it's okay. It's very nice. I kind of wish you'd like step away from the kind of like atmospheric stuff that you had behind this drum beat at this point, because we're like 30 seconds in and like all we've heard is that atmospheric stuff and a drum beat. So I wish this would like change up a little bit in some way. I feel like the atmosphere is not like the atmospheric elements aren't quite cutting it. Oh, bruh. That's unfortunate. See you later, Mr. Biff, then. Redder, the switches are currently closed. It's like almost there. It needs the main bass needs to be way more present and loud and like in your face. And it isn't quite doing that, so it's not hitting that hard. And also the hi-hats disappeared, which is kind of weird. Okay, another thing I'm like just now realizing, right, is like your build up is like still mostly these drums, and like we're just not getting enough variation. Like it needs more change ups and stuff. Like when this drop hits, it's just like not like punching hard enough because it, like the only thing that's really changed is the synths. Like the drums are still the same thing that we've kind of heard this whole time. So there's no real like surprise anymore, you know? I wish those hi-hats were back. There's no like actual sub either. Yeah, keep those hi-hats in. Also, we're just staying on the same note the whole time. Like we've got this like duh, like note the whole time. I would definitely like to see that on like a different note and like doing some chord progression stuff. That would really help. Okay. Like now we're like now I was like convinced like okay we're probably gonna get a switch up, right? But then it was the same drop, you know. We need the change up from here over to here, and that would sincerely help a lot. I also just kind of like the main like 16th note like digga 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 thing, right? Is just getting repetitive as well because you know you're kind of like just playing it through the whole drop like you've played it like twice now the whole time through. I wish it's just like not like quite interesting enough to be like constantly engaged in, you know, as a listening thing. Also, if you're gonna have those chords, like the jazzy like chords, you need to change the bass line to follow it as well. You can't just kind of have like the chords playing over top of it and then not have the MIDI being changed as well from the bass. Otherwise, they'll kind of clash. And that's what's going on right now. So yeah, okay. I think I just don't think it's like that interesting because it just doesn't have like any. It's just like super static the whole way through. Like it's the same vibe the whole way through, the same notes, the same sound design. Like everything just kind of stays static the whole way through, and that's kind of why it's like not engaging enough. And like you kind of need to bring in you know, elements that are like the build up, for example, like make those completely different from the drops. The mid sections are like kind of like, you know, the same as the drop. I don't know, it's just so much of the same stuff. But yeah. That being said, Hackstore, definitely look into some changes that'll like help you keep the track engaging and like, you know, have more like ups and downs, like more climaxes, more less like of just saying stuff throughout this whole track. So yeah, Hacksaw Canopy. Go to the next one. All right, up next we have a Locket Music with Eucalyptus. Let's go. Oh man, this is a 5-minute track. Yeah, I don't like the clap that much either, personally. Oh, this is nice. I feel like this guitar is already like a lot different from this, so I wouldn't really change it necessarily. Whereas in like, you could probably just ditch this entire like intro and still be fine. I wish that sub was a bit louder. It also sounds like it's being panned to the right a bit. I might be tripping, I don't know. Sounds like several loops put together. Yeah, a little bit. There's also no real transitions going on. Like, this section just kind of like stopped abruptly. Okay. I think it sounds a bit underproduced. As in, like, there's not enough impact going on sound design wise. It sounds like the sub is also like at a really high note, which is causing like it to not be like super impactful. Yeah, it's all saw waves. Yeah. Drum selection is also just not really optimal for this. It's also super mono. Yeah, I think one thing to work on is definitely the transitions, because they're really not there. Like you kind of need to have, like, transitions are just like covering up areas where you have abrupt changes like these with other elements. So like reverse crashes that reverb out, impacts, stuff like that, to like cover up the fact that hey, something's changing. But you know, you'll notice it later. I think in general this song does not need to be the length it is. The structure is just kind of weird and like too dragged on. Like this drop hits at 1 minute 28-ish, but I think it could have hit much earlier than that. This part also doesn't really have much atmosphere going on. It's a bit too like bare bones in my opinion. Again, like no sub. It kind of sounds like this patch that you're playing right now, that thing, is also played at too high of a note. I'm putting it down an octave. And yeah, it's just too basic of sound design, in my opinion. I would also be careful with that like donkey bass thing, because like it's a bit like nitpicky, and I think it's like kind of hard. And what I'm trying to say is that donkey bass thing has like a major major third attached to it, if that makes sense, and that's causing it to clash with the other elements. And so like it sounds out of key. Now I would like try to like if you can like locate it on EQ, just like remove the peak if possible, or go in like whatever patch it is and just like try to reduce the level on that major third. Yeah. No, I didn't mean donkey like the animal, like the donk-esque. That makes sense. I think you know what I mean. Fucking donkey face. God damn it. I think something else I'm not really noticing is like a motif. And now, okay, I can tell that this is kind of like a you know, you're a bit more of a beginner producer, and that's okay. So I feel like I'm kind of talking in a bunch of terms that you might not understand, and I apologize if this is the case. Yeah, definitely. I think the main thing to focus on is like learn like songwriting right now, and that's what you're doing, you know, making melodic music and stuff. Yeah, in general, like you know, yeah, like you're learning the songwriting, and that's good. But I would definitely try for this song specifically. I would try to like shorten it up. I don't think this is a song that needs to be 5 minutes and 25 seconds. I think there's a lot of sections like this one, like this whole thing right here that you could definitely shorten up a bit and make it condense a little bit and make it like more quick to the point. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that would really help with making this a bit more engaging. But yeah, work on your songwriting a bit. Try to make like a look into like motifs. So let's, you know, in case you're motif like that, you know, I'd spell that. Look into how that kind of stuff works. Yeah. That being said, Locket Music with Eucalyptus. Let's go to the next one. Alright, up next we have Demperor, or The Emperor, with Necronomicon. Let's go. Jeez, nuts joke. It needs more right now you've kind of got like a lot of like sounds but not like any melodies or like followable things kind of. So it's like not engaging enough. I'm kind of like spacing out, and I don't think that's what you want. That like high bass kind of hurts the ears a little bit. I was trying to try to EQ that like peak out a bit. Right now you have a kick and a snare layered. I would try to replace that snare with a clap instead, because it's a bit like yeah, I don't know. A bit too like, okay, here's the problem when you layer a kick and a snare, at least in my opinion, is you have like a kick. Let's take this one for example, and or here no this one, and like a snare. Let's take these two and you layer these. The problem is the fundamental of this snare, aka this thing, right? And the fundamental of this kick, which is like kind of here-ish, they kind of like overlap in a way. Like they don't cover the same frequency, so you don't have like a mixing issue per se, but yeah, you kind of have like these two frequencies that are both trying to take up the same space. So if you just like shorten it up a bit, like that, and just have the tail end of it, you end up with like a bit more of like a clappy thing, and that's what I think you should go for. Just helps a lot, makes it nicer. But yeah, let's go back. The sidechain also hits really early, like like the volume just completely cuts out at like a point right before the kick hits and the snare hits. The structure is also just kind of like not really there. Like there's like, it's just kind of like a lot of sounds kind of just being slapped together, and like it's really chaotic. I wish there was a bit more call and response and like repetition of sounds. Not to the point where it gets repetitive, but more like you know, you do like a few times, like an ABAC structure, you know. I'll quickly explain this to anyone who does not already know what an ABAC structure is. So let's say you have 4 sections, right? Let's make one square here, one square here. That's not a square, but just pretend like it is, right? You got 4 squares. Now, this is square A, square B, this is square A, and this is square C. So these two are technically speaking identical, despite not looking the same, but just don't worry about that. And then these two are completely different entities, right? So this is one phrase of music. So let's say this is I don't know, like 2 bars long. This is, and like every one of these squares is 2 bars long. You would go in, and like every 2 bars you'd go to this, every 2 bars you go back to this, and you know, this helps with like making your song way more memorable, rather than just like a simple, or rather than just like slapping together a bunch of sounds. If you use this kind of structure, or like, you know, you could do like an A, B, BAC structure too, or like a I don't know, you can go crazy with this. It's like there's a lot of stuff to it, but this is the main one that I would probably use for songs, that the easiest one. Not that I'm like actively thinking about this when I make music, but you know, you get the idea. Sub is super messy right now. It sounds like it kind of like didn't EQ out some sub on certain places. Yeah, that sidechain is really bothering me. It's like hitting way too early. It might have to do with, I know there's like some problems with like latency compensation or something like that in like FL, if you're using FL. I don't know exactly how you'd go about fixing that. I'm sure there's like some FL Studio experts who could help you out with that. But yeah, there's like some it might be some latency issues or something. Like, okay, now I'm confused. Like, is this supposed to be like a drop, a build up? Like, I don't know what this is. You know, you like, I think you need a like, there's no like build up to it. There's no like risers or anything. There's also no like sub here specifically. I wish there was. Yeah, and there's just like so many like areas like this where there's just like nothing playing except like one element. And like it just like, I feel like you're trying to kind of like emphasize certain things, but it's not quite working because like you're doing it so often and with like such random elements and like in a kind of unstructured manner. And in this case, it's just like all over the place because of it. Yeah, it's just like, and the low end is super messy. I'm not hearing any sub, but then like there's like 2 different sub notes playing at the same time as well. Like there's so much stuff going on. Yeah, like just so many sounds going on, you know? Too many sounds. Not enough structure. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like the mix is like kind of weird. Like there's not that much sub, but then yeah, the low end is super messy, like the low mids kind of. The like structuring definitely needs like a lot of work. Everything sounds super distorted as well. But yeah, it's just like too much going on, like too many ideas, and like I really don't mean to like, you know, like come at you for this or something. I'm trying to help you, of course, and I feel like I'm going a bit aggressive today, and I don't mean to do that. So I apologize if I'm like going too hard on you. But yeah, definitely not my intention. Yeah. So that being said, Demperor, good luck with this track. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay, I'm gonna do like 2 more, including this one, so 1 more after this one, and then call it a day. So up next we have Keep a World with Free. Let's go. Progression is good, I like it. Okay, glad to hear it. No problem, Demperor. I hope I'm saying that right, by the way. Okay, interesting.
Was what they talk about in movies. I love was what they talk about in movies. Our love was wild and free. You know everything.
I thought for a second it was like out of key, but it's
So free.
it sounds like you have a limiter on the master, and it's kind of like ducking the whole thing. And the vocal is definitely getting drowned out a bit.
Was what they talk about.
Okay.
What they talk about in movies. I love was what they talk about. What they talk about in movies. I love was
Okay, hold on. Is what they talk about. Yeah, this is out of okay. So the vocal the vocal, right, is in is what they talk about, and then the song is in so your vocal is in E minor, and then your actual song is in B minor. So you got to transpose this vocal up to B minor. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why it sounds good. Is because it's like a parallel fifth. So you got to transpose it up 7, and then you'll be good. Yeah. Ooh. Nice. Really nice. The drums are a bit quiet, but other than that, it's really nice. Good mix. Really nice songwriting too.
was what they talk about. What they talk about in movies. I love was what they talk about. What they talk about in movies. Our love was wild and free.
I feel like in general the vocal just kind of like doesn't have a proper place in this song. Like it's kind of a poppy vocal, but then like, you know, your song is like the super like gentle kind of like, you know, thing, but then your vocal is like kind of loud and like yelling ish. You know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe try finding like another vocal that's a bit more like breathy and like close mic'd rather than this like yeah, vocal that sounds like it should be in like a drop or something. It also gets drowned out a bit here, vocal. Same with that synth, it's kind of playing such low notes that it's and like you EQ'd it in a way that it kind of like gets drowned out through all the synths and stuff. So I would try to just put it an octave up and that would probably fix it. Make it a bit louder as well. Try to have a bit of a pause before that like chord stack going in. That way you'll transition a lot nicer and it'll have way more impact. So like. Yeah. Cool sound is in there. I wish that kick had more high end and also like some crashes and stuff. But the kick itself is like too like trap-ish to fit this. Like it's kind of like too much like that, kind of like held back, kind of like that, you know. It needs to be more more clicky, I think. Something a bit more like that in general, I'd say. And then, yeah, there you also need more transition, because now I'm not sure, is this the drop or is this still the fake out, you know? Cool little fills. Yeah. Keep our world with free. It sounds cool. I like the drop. Like this first drop was good. I like the way it was like laid out. Like I said, the drums could be a little bit louder here. But that's about the only complaint I had. The mix was good, I would say. But here you kind of lost me. It was just like the transitions weren't quite there to give like every section the impact it needs, and I wasn't quite sure like, you know, is this a drop? Is this not a drop? Stuff like that. But besides that, you know, fix the vocal for sure, and yeah, that's about all I have to say about that one. Yeah, keep a world with free. Nicely done. Go to the next one. This is the last one for today. I'm doing good. Thank you, Mr. Neutral, for asking. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good day. No problem, Kipo. Oh wait, hold on. We gotta restart there. Okay, so a few things right off the bat. The sub is on too high of a note, so you're playing it at like, what was that? C. Okay. You're playing it at like C2, like this note. Most like the first off, C is kind of a hard, difficult key to make like dubstep in, because it's kind of in an awkward zone between being too high of a note and too low of a note. So you'll notice the same thing with like this kind of range as well. Like this range, most dubstep artists just don't really like explore. If in your case, I would try to lower this like 2 octaves, like there, and just keep it there. And so you have like a sine wave sub, right? So it'd be like this. So what you do now is like saturate it a bit, give it some more harmonics, right? Like if you're looking at EQ, give it some more of these like extra peaks, and this is what you'll hear. This is what you'll hear in your actual song, and that'll make it like punch way nicer. Okay, so you had a little build up, but I think the build up was too short, and like you also didn't really leave a pause for the drop to be like to have much impact. So So I would like take out those chords and like just leave it to like the little dog bark or whatever, and that's like your pre-drop vocal, and then you go into the drop. You know what I mean? Yeah, and again, sub is too high. I think in general, just the elements are like too quiet. Like the basses are too quiet, and like I think they need to be a lot louder. It's a fun vibe though. I don't know about these like pitched around chords though, because they kind of like indicate that you're in like a weird like different key. I wouldn't really add that pitch bend. If you want to add like a pitch bend to something, I would do it to like a lead or like some other sound design element. But in this case, it kind of makes it feel a bit weird because you're transposing the entire key, like, you know, around. I'll call it here, I think. After this one, we got close enough, let's say. So yeah, still, I think what I've like said about this kind of applies to here. I think we've got some cool drums. I think for down the road is like add some like stereo width. I wouldn't worry too much about it right now, but like basically the premise being stereo width, aka like the difference in like your left and right ear signal, it causes stereo width, right? And so right now there's not really any of that going on. So if you find like a way to like down the road, like I wouldn't worry about it now, but like down the road you would like eventually try to yeah, get some stereo width in your tunes. Little dogs. Reverb dogs. Dogs in the well. Yeah. I didn't even say the title. Lil Shibe. How do you say that? I never learned how to say that. It's like Shibe? Shibe? I don't know. I fucking know. With Bork. Right. Anyway. That being said, fellas, I'm gonna call it there. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for the donos. And thank you for just sitting around, chilling, chatting. Appreciate you greatly. Yeah. I have a video coming out tomorrow. Stream on Saturday. And yeah, the next feedback stream will be next week. You can submit that. You can submit to that on Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, I will see y'all later. Take care, everybody. Peace.